Okay, so for one thing, I'm making this video. It's kind of a personal video, and for another thing, you're gonna have to forgive me because I'm using this weird little microphone thing, and I just realized that the way I was sitting made it look like I had no neck. But anyway, I'm looking at the screen as I'm doing this, so that's why I am periodically looking up at my webcam. The point of this video is to kind of talk about the things that I've been through, because I think that some of the things that I've been through can help others if they're struggling through some of the same things. Um, like, I don't know, I didn't plan this at all, so it's kind of off the cuff. But, basically, everything started freshman year. A lot of stuff went down that I don't want to go into because it's a lot of personal stuff with my family. And it wasn't just me involved, so I don't want to go into that. But after freshman year, I was kind of destroyed mentally, and I didn't really talk about it at all to anybody. Um, Actually, I did talk about it to one person who promised me that he would be there no matter what. Friend-wise, it was completely platonic, but then he all of a sudden decided that I was making everything up to get attention and told everybody everything and completely stabbed me in the back. So after that, it was really hard for me to trust anybody. And then after freshman year, my family moved to the East Coast, and the town that we had been living in was really, really small, like redneck town, pretty much. And the town we moved to was East Coast, North Virginia. A lot of people, really diverse, not at all what I was used to. And I was pretty sheltered up to that point, I think, and I wasn't really used to anything. So when I started at this new school with hundreds of students as opposed to 40 people in my graduating class in Texas, it was like complete fish out of water. I kind of adjusted, made a couple friends, but they weren't like good friends. They were just people that I hung out with so that I wouldn't be alone during lunchtime or during classes. Um, I started going out with this guy. We weren't even together a month, but he broke up with me, and when I got over him really fast because we hadn't been going out that long, he ended up telling everybody all these really crappy rumors that I was sneaking out, smoking pot, that I was suicidal, that I was cutting myself, that I was stalking him and his friends, that I was flashing him and his friends, like all these things that were completely untrue. But he told everybody, and everybody believed him over me because I was the new kid and he was the popular kid. And I lost all my friends. Um, I don't talk to anybody from that school at all. And not because of that, but because of something else, I ended up moving schools. It was just zoning issues with our new house. And so I changed schools, and I was really glad because I hated that school after that. I hated the way people looked at me, and it sucked a lot to be there. Um, so I moved to this new school, and this is where my best friend comes into play. Um, his name is Demi, and he was the best person I've ever known, ever in my life, I think. He he was really funny and really nice and cared about everybody. He was amazing, and he cared about me, which is the only thing I ever want from anybody, is for them to truly care about me. And he did. And he made me know that he did. And he proved that he did instead of just saying it. And but he had a lot of problems, like a lot of problems. He got bullied a lot for being gay. He did drugs and he drank, and he just had not a good life. And I always tried my hardest to be there for him. And I tried harder than my hardest to be there for him because I wanted everything to be okay. but everything wasn't okay, but I was still there as much as I could be. And then on September 4th of 2008, he told me that he had cancer. He was 17 years old, and he said that it wasn't looking good, and it just wasn't good. Not that cancer is ever good, but it was pretty bad at the time. And so things kept going. I was at this new school, didn't have any friends yet. Was a complete zombie, basically. And it sucked a lot, honestly. It was the worst year of my life, school-wise. I made really bad grades that year. I'm not proud of that year at all. Um, he eventually said that he would have 15 months to live, and that tore me apart. Like, of course it did, because how do you deal with that news? But then he didn't want that to happen. The treatment wasn't working. He didn't want he wasn't happy with anything that was going on in his life, and he felt really out of control of it, and he was really suicidal. And I talked to him out of it a lot of times, but eventually I couldn't. And he went off treatment, and a few days later he was gone, and that was December 4th of 08, exactly 3 months after he told me that he was sick. Um, After that, I lost my mind. I couldn't really function. I didn't want to function if it meant functioning without him. And all I really had was my music, because that's the other biggest part of who I am, is my music. When I first started listening to My Chemical Romance, it was in middle school, and I was afraid of them because I was sheltered up to that point, and their music scared me. But yeah, I somehow came across that year a download of I'm Not Okay, I Promise, and put it on my iPod and listened to that song like it was a drug. It was my drug, and it made me feel better, and it made me feel like somebody cared because somebody knew what I was going through. And then, where All Time Low is concerned, if it wasn't for Demi, I wouldn't have never listened to them. He always went around quoting JC Ray, and so I looked them up, and I liked them. Didn't listen to them that much, but I liked them. And then I didn't really listen to them at all until my senior year, or maybe it was junior year. Either way, I didn't listen to them that much at the time. But I was still really torn apart about everything. And then around summer after junior year, so 2009, was when I started feeling okay from everything. But I was still feeling a lot of mental torment. Like I wasn't happy, and I don't know, I just didn't feel like I was living up to my potential or anything. And it sucked a lot knowing that. So my breaking point really was in January of my senior year. So 2010. I woke up one morning before my alarm went off, like for I don't know, sometime early in the morning. And the second I woke up, I wanted to jump out my window. And I had to like physically make myself stay in bed. Like I had to shake myself out of it, make myself stay in bed, or else I knew I was going to get up and do something. And I was scared. I was staring at the clock, and the minutes were going by, and I was crying, and I just didn't want to be there. And that was the lowest point of my life. I went and I told my mom that I wanted help, and so I stayed home that day, and that's the day that I read the interview Mike Way did, talking about his depression and about his going to therapy, and that's when I decided that I was strong enough to go to therapy, I guess. And that's why I started. And therapy cleared a lot of things up for me. Um, I didn't go back because I'd prefer talking to people that I know, that I trust, and that I care about than a stranger. But that's just me. And then I started listening to All Time Low more. And I started looking into their songs, and especially Therapy and The Party Scene are the ones that helped me because I'm terrified of growing up. Demi was 17 when he died. I'm 18 now. I'm older than he ever got the chance to be. That scares me. I don't want to grow old. I don't want to die any day, even though I know it's inevitable. But All Time Low has been the one that's taught me it's okay to be yourself, and it's okay to live, and it's okay to not want to grow up. And it's really hard to explain it. Just, they've always been there, and they've been one of the bands that I can listen to, and I feel happy when I do. My Chemical Romance is the other. Last Monday, the 28th, I saw All Time Low live for the first time, and you might have read it on my page that I met Alex, and I told him, thank you for everything, because if it wasn't for you, or if it wasn't for my best friend, I wouldn't have ever listened to you guys. And then if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have survived his death. And Alex got this really, really sad look on his face, and he was like, no, 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 thank you, thank you. And he didn't really know what to say. And he gave me the hugest hug, and I wrote him a letter about everything. And that was the scariest thing I've ever done, is thanking him for that. But I had to, because that was my biggest goal in life, was to be able to thank my hero. And I did that, and it's a really freeing experience. And I'm okay a lot more nowadays than I used to be. I still have issues going on. Obviously, everybody has issues going on all the time. My main one is that it's a form of self-injury, but it's not your typical one. It's and it sounds really gross. It's chronic skin picking, or dermatillomania, and it's where you just like pick at your skin, you scratch at your skin a lot of the time until it bleeds. That's what all this right here, you can't really see because of the webcam, but all these spots that are covered up. The skin on my arms is really bad, and my legs. I don't wear shorts in front of anybody. I hate wearing short sleeves, and it's like a subconscious thing. I've been doing it as long as I can remember, and I don't know, it's just a thing that I want to stop, but I really can't. But I just wanted to make this video to tell anybody out there that you're not alone, and you never will be. There's always going to be somebody that cares about you, whether or not it's in your life or whether it's in music. There's somebody out there that knows what you're going through, and there's somebody out there that cares. And if I could do one thing right in my life, it would be to be that person for somebody. I just want to be there for you guys. Like, I'm getting emotional over this now because I just want to be there for you guys. And I'm always here. I have any I am client known to man, pretty much, and I'm there for everybody who needs an ear to talk to. I understand a lot more than you think I do. I'm a psychology major. I'm kind of studying this for what I want to do with my life. I just want to help people. And I want to be for somebody else what I never had, but always needed. And yeah, that's pretty much all. Thanks for watching.